Hi guys, we're Group 16, and today we're doing our emerging trend report on journalism via Snapchat. I'm Bray Sands,
I'm Katie George.
I'm Eden Burles.
And I'm Grace Spare.
and these are all of our findings.
So we'll be starting with the background of Snapchat. Snapchat started in 2011 by 3 Stanford students, Evan Spiegel, Reggie Brown, and Bobby Murphy. So it all started when the junior in college, Reggie Brown, came up with an idea of a social media app that would allow people to post pictures and videos that would soon disappear. Brown told Spiegel about his new idea, and the two gathered Bobby Murphy to help them with the coding of the app. And the trio released Picaboo in July 2011. In September 2011, Spiegel and Murphy kicked out Reggie Brown from their group and went on to release what we now know as Snapchat. And then after Snapchat gained quite a bit of revenue and popularity and started receiving more advertisements, the parent company, Snap Incorporated, was released and hit the public market in 2017. So over the years, with every update, Snapchat has released more options for users. So a few of them are the 10-second video option, chatting, public stories and private stories, geo filters, and the discover portion. With these renovations made over the years, users have been able to share their stories and information with their peers in many different ways. Geo filters and the discover portion have created a lot of revenue for Snapchat and given journalists and news broadcasters new ways to share their information over social media.
Next, we'll be talking about how Snapchat has made the shift from a mobile messaging application to a social media platform, as well as how it has been a key player in shaping the journalism industry. So in 2015, Snapchat launched the Discover feature, which is basically like an interactive newsfeed. This feature attracted influencers, brands, advertisers, and media outlets to make the great migration over to Snapchat and display their content on this ever-growing app. One of the trailblazers for this emerging trend was eNetwork. In 2016, eNetwork launched an exclusive to Snapchat show called The Rundown, which was a pop culture show highlighting entertainment-based news such as celebrity gossip and current trends. The Discover feature on Snapchat was the catalyst for news and entertainment outlets to begin their transition onto the app and start creating more short-form video content. Now in 2022, Snapchat has renewed multi-year contracts with media giants such as NBC Universal, Viacom, and CBS News. These traditional media outlets who own television news channels can be an indicator of the current market trends of moving away from traditional broadcast nightly news to short-form video content on social media applications such as Snapchat. So Snapchat has done a fantastic job of tapping into Gen Z and millennial users by offering interactive content. By having a social media presence, these media giants have not only reached their target audience of millennials and Gen Z, but they have contributed to changing journalism industry as a whole. The Rutgers Institute for the Study of Journalism suggests that 51% of people with online access use social media as a news source. Snapchat has made the news more accessible and user-friendly to a younger audience through interactive storytelling and media. Current trends predict that the journalism industry will only continue to become more digital as technology continues to advance. Snapchat has played a huge role in the industry's move from traditional print mythology to social media.
So now we're going to talk about the economic trends within Snapchat. Snapchat is home to 100 million users that send over 400 million snaps each day total. Although Snapchat has an extremely high activity, they don't charge any rate or subscription fee. That being said, Snapchat must rely on advertisements as their alternate revenue stream. Advertisements make up 99% of Snapchat's income, while the other 1% comes from spectacles. Companies ranging from Grubhub and Pepsi to Lyft and even Walt Disney advertise through Snapchat because when broken down, their business model is quite simple. Advertisements are seamlessly included on the Explore page and within users' friend stories so that the user doesn't need to change their behavior while using the app to be exposed to any advertisements. Snapchat had a very successful year last year, earning a total of $4.1 billion in income, which was an increase of 64% from 2020. In the final quarter of 2021, there was a 42% revenue increase, as well as a 20% increase in the daily active users. This continual growth seen in both the revenue and Snapchat's daily active users would suggest that we'll see economic trends on a positive trajectory in the future.
Okay, and finally, we will be talking about career opportunities for future journalists that are available because of Snapchat. So first things first, a really important thing that Snapchat has done, they've kind of presented themselves as a news gathering tool. So in 2018, they introduced the feature on the left image, which is called Snap Maps. And so basically, if you post a public snap, you can access it as long as you use the app. So if you have a car accident, you're probably going to get 20 videos of it. And you just have to zoom into the location that you found it or that it happened. And then you can find all these first person reports and videos to use as a resource, which is really great for journalists. Next, if you also work for like just a traditional news source, the middle image here is I went on my own personal Snapchat and just searched news, and these were just some of the results that came up. So there's a lot of transition, as we've already talked about, from more traditional forums of TV or newspaper onto social media and specifically Snapchat. And on the right side is another example of what E already did. This is the NBC version, which is called Stay Tuned. It's a twice daily original Snapchat show focused on hard-hitting news and different stories that are produced just for Snapchat. And again, just to nail home the point or drive home the point that Snapchat is really important to use as a news source. 48% of Americans now regularly receive their news from social media. Only 4% of those Americans regularly get their news from Snapchat, but that 4% is almost entirely made up of 18 to 29-year-olds, which is our generation, the upcoming consumers of news. So it's a really important resource for future journalists, because the bigger that audience gets as we get older, that's going to be how we all consume news at one point or another. So that is our presentation. Thank you so much for listening.